Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on Nationwide, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital city. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered an investigation into the allegation of law and due process made against the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, David Babachir Lawal, in the award of contracts under the Presidential Initiative on the Northeast Pine. The President has also directed the suspension of the SGF from office pending the outcome of the investigations. In a related development, the President has ordered a full-scale investigation into the discovery of large amounts of foreign and local currencies by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a residential apartment at Osborne Towers, Ikoyi, Lagos, over which the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, has made a claim. The investigation is also to inquire into the circumstances in which the NIA came into possession of the funds, how and by whose or which authority the funds were made available to the NIA, and to establish whether or not there has been a breach of the law or security procedure in obtaining custody and use of the funds. President Buhari has also directed the suspension of the Director General of the NIA, Ambassador Ayo Oke, pending the outcome of the investigation. A three-man committee comprising the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice and the National Security Advisor, headed by the Vice President, is to conduct both investigations. The committee is to submit its report to the President within 14 days. The most senior permanent secretary in the SGF's office and the most senior officer in the NIA are to act, respectively, during the period of investigation. And the special advisor to the President on Media, Femi Adesina, has assured Nigerians of more dividends of democracy in line with the promises made by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. He reaffirmed this commitment while speaking on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria. Saliu Abdullahi completes the report.
Next month, May 29th, precisely, the Buhari-led administration will be 2 years in office. This is halfway in governance in the journey of its 4 years tenure. Answering questions on matters of national interest and the journey so far, the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, captured the progress report of the Buhari government into 4 critical sectors: security, economy, education, and agriculture.
The President, in his Easter message, said we have met the expectations of Nigeria, our Nigerians. Now, can you speak more on what the President actually meant by that statement?
Those were not the President's words. Let me read these words. In the almost 2 years of this administration, we have worked hard to meet the expectations of Nigerians. That is different from we have met the expectations of Nigerians. We have worked hard to meet connotes work in progress. And what is happening is that, yes.
This was part of submissions of discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live. Over now to Talatu Eziwike.
Global attention is on tackling corruption through laws and the right structures that block leakages, which in turn hinder corruption. Analysts say Nigeria is not left out of the global phenomenon in view of the Buhari administration's fight against corruption, especially the introduced whistleblowers policy that has led to huge recovery of monies from corrupt members of the society.
We must sanitize our political system because the political field has harbored a lot of questionable characters. I mean, we have to define criteria, moral criteria, to qualify people.
If people know that there are several people who are blowing the whistle, so the possibility of being caught becomes a little bit higher. It is easier to ensure that you put systems in place that will make it difficult, if not impossible, for people to engage in corruptible transactions.
To many, the fight against corruption must be systematic and imbibed by the younger generations for sustainability.
We have to inculcate into our children moral and family values. If President Muhammadu Buhari can make Nigerians achieve this corruption fight, he has led it to. He's now watching us. It's left to us to make it become a reality.
You can give information now, you can blow whistle, and at the end of the day, maybe the thing has been moved or what they call it, relocated. So we will not charge you for giving false information. Those people have to be encouraged. We are encouraged, the police are encouraging them because we'll do much more with them. And they should know that when you blow the whistle, you are protected.
The clarion call is for Nigerians to restore the eroded values of hard work, integrity, selfless service and sacrifice that stood the nation out. The consensus, therefore, is that corruption must be tackled head-on. Talati Ezerike, NTA News. A crucial meeting of the Independent National Electoral Commission on the modalities and procedures for the rollout of the nationwide continuous voter registration exercise ahead of the 2019 general elections is ongoing at the INEC headquarters, Abuja. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is meeting with resident electoral commissioners to gather information on availability of materials and to ensure that all the necessary requirements are in place for a hitch-free exercise. He also listed the categories of Nigerians who qualify for the registration.
In the exercise we shall soon commence, citizens who have reached the age of 18 years, those who did not register before the last general elections, those who wish to transfer or relocate from one state to another or within a state from one town to another, or those who did not collect their PVCs before the last general election will have the opportunity to do so. Similarly, internally displaced persons who were not registered before the 2015 elections will have an opportunity to do so. Those who have lost their PVCs due to dislocation, but whose names are verifiably on the register, will have the opportunity to collect new PVCs. And depending on numbers, consideration will be given to long-term displaced persons still living in IDP camps, nationwide, or resettlement centers, be they in the Northeast or the Bakassi Peninsula or anywhere else.
He also lists a communique on the process for the exercise is to be issued at the end of the deliberations. And to the aviation sector, now where President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the efforts of the Ministries of Transport, Power, Works and Housing, security agencies, Kaduna State Government and the contractor on the successful completion of work on the runway and reopening of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, 24 hours ahead of the time limit. The president, in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, said that he looked forward to such display of interagency cooperation and efficiency in the operation of the entire federal government machinery. President Buhari also thanked the Ethiopian Airlines for cooperating with the Nigerian government during the period of the closure of the Abuja airport, describing it as a good example of intra-African cooperation. And the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the timely completion of the runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, that paved the way for the reopening of the airport has shown the ability of the Buhari administration to rise to any occasion, irrespective of how daunting the challenge may be. And still on the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, the Buhari administration has continued to receive a pat on the back for the timely completion and delivery of the rehabilitation work at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The latest is from guests on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria. Saliu Abdullahi has that report.
For the past 6 weeks, the rehabilitation work at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport has received much attention from within and around the world. This is because of the critical role air transportation play to the people, especially those who trade business in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. The guests were unanimous that the rehabilitation work did not only meet the requirements.
At it from a bigger picture, we should be attracting investment into this sector.
In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And still staying with the aviation sector, with the reopening of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to flight operations, the FCT administration has promised to ease traffic flow along the airport road by fast-tracking the completion of the Bill Clinton Bridge by the airport junction. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello gave this assurance while inspecting portions of the airport road project. Mitairi Ikben has that report.
With the mobilization of contractors back to site by the FCT administration, construction work on the remaining aspects of the 10-lane expansion of the airport road, Abuja, is progressing, with priority being given towards the speedy completion of the bridge that leads to the airport. The FCT minister, who was pleased with the progress of work, said the bridge will soon be open to traffic.
With the increased flow and movement of traffic, it's very critical for us to make sure that this bridge is completed. When this administration came in, it was basically a hanging bridge, and you can see during the last few months, with proper funding and supervision, the contractors came back to site and they've done a very wonderful job. And from their timeline, I understand a portion of the bridge would be operational within the next few weeks, and then subsequently in the next 2 or 3 months, the entire section will be completed.
The minister reiterated the commitment of the FCT administration towards completing ongoing and abandoned projects scattered across Abuja. The contract for the 10-lane expansion of the airport road was awarded in May 2009, and the project is currently 95% complete. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
And Jennifer is on standby in our Lagos Network Center with top stories from that zone. You're on.
Good evening and welcome to Lagos. Minister of Communications Adebayo Shitu says the federal government is set to harness the potential in the Nigerian Postal Service for effective delivery and to improve revenue generation. The minister stated this at a recently concluded 4-day international conference on growth of postal services for economic development in Lagos. Musa Toliat has the details.
The Minister of Communications Adebayo Shitu said the vast potential of the Nigerian Postal Service, which have been left untapped over the years, are major contributory factors responsible for poor service delivery of NIPOST.
When NIPOST was acquiring lands, excess lands were acquired, and most of these lands were not built on. We should be able to also commercialize this by leasing parts of these wasting lands to people who are ready to develop, and then NIPOST will be able to make money.
He, however, hinted that arrangements have been concluded to commercialize some of the assets of NIPOST in order for it to compete favorably with private sector courier operators across the country.
Most Nigerians have been unwittingly excluded from financial services, and we felt that one of the things we can do is to also introduce into NIPOST services what is variously called NIPOST banking or whatever. These are available in a lot of countries. We could utilize NIPOST, facilities for people to go in there, apply through the net for a passport, or for the renewal of a passport through, the postal agencies all over. With the credibility and the goodwill that NIPOST already has, we could as well introduce e-commerce services using NIPOST facilities.
The Minister of Communications emphasized that NIPOST will also be better positioned to undertake e-government services to serve as a link between Nigerians and the federal government. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Ministers in Lagos have started to recount their various achievements and plans to capture the midterm projects and accomplishment of Governor Akinwumi Ambode-led administration. Victoria Olabode reports that the ministries made the presentation to the state government.
The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeniji Kazeem, declared that a total number of 398 cases have been prosecuted at the Magistrate Court from September 2016 till date. State High Court 1,861, Federal High Court 53, Court of Appeal 36, and Supreme Court 38 cases from February 2015 till date. He also said the judgment of Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, a former chief security officer of the late head of state General Sani Abacha, over the death of Kudirat Abiola's case is being prepared for appeal court.
This government is very strong on law and order, and the Reverend King case is one of those that is under review. Yes, Reverend King, like many others, on death row, and very soon you will see the action of this government on that issue.
In another development, the State Commissioner for Environment, Babatunde Adejare, said among numerous plans to deliver a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment is a Clean Lagos Initiative, CLI, under the Environmental Management and Protection Bill signed into law on the 1st of March this year and will commence by first week in July 2017.
We are going to have companies that are going to be put in different zones of the state to particularly clean this challenge for the next 3 years.
The project, when in operation, will provide employment opportunities for 27,500 residents. In Lagos, Victoria Olabode, NTA News.
And to health. Medical experts across the country converged on Lagos to share ideas on possible ways of combating non-communicable diseases, especially meningitis in Nigeria. Lindeneke reports that the forum is organized by the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Lagos.
Considering the recent outbreak of various epidemics in some communities in the country, the place of research in tackling outbreaks of such diseases necessitated the gathering of these medical researchers. The need to come up with sustainable researches that would lead to the production of effective vaccines capable of forestalling the outbreak of meningitis was advocated.
Investment in preventable immunization is the best for fighting meningitis. In fact, the vaccines against A, against AC, against AC135 are so effective that the new conjugate vaccines can protect you for almost life.
The medics suggested a policy framework to incorporate various perspectives in research efforts.
At the present moment, people do research, but there is no focus. And because research funds are expensive, we need to have more people with good. And there have been a lot of initiatives, but too many of them are being generated from abroad. We need, as a country, to decide that this is an important thing, and we need to put our money there.
Beyond that, economic prosperity can also come about from drug development, innovation development.
Experts at the forum called for collaboration among institutes with a view to enhancing the nation's capacity and readiness to combat epidemics in any region. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Now those are the top stories at this hour from Lagos. Back to Hawa in Abuja for more on Nationwide News.
Very well, Jennifer. And still on health matters, the Nigerian Medical Association has developed a 5-year strategic plan that will enable the association reposition itself and advocate improved health system that delivers the desired health outcome for Nigerians. Health correspondent Rabi Abdallah was at the public presentation of the draft document to partners and other key players in the health sector.
Lack of country ownership, which is depicted in the overdependence on donor agencies for the funding of diseases, as well as the inability of the Nigerian health system to perform efficiently and effectively in the face of high disease burden and poor health indices, are some of the challenges the Nigerian health sector is faced with. As the umbrella body of the medical and dental profession in the country, with 37,000 registered members, under the theme, From Words to Action, NMA, Walking the Talk, with partners, came up with a plan that spans through 2017 to 2022, which is through open to partners and other key players for inputs at the public presentation.
To address these challenges, we need renewed commitment and shared vision.
Of immediate concern to NMA is improving the healthcare delivery at the primary healthcare level.
So for look at it, diagnose it, do a diagnostic, critique it. If it is okay, let's jointly work towards developing the activity plans. This is just a strategic plan. As partners who want to see changes and result in the healthcare.
The plan has 6 thematic areas, which include strengthening the NMA, operationalization of the National Health Act, as well as intra and interprofessional relationship. In Abuja, Rabi Abdallah, NTA News.
And poised to achieve universal health coverage and ensure quality healthcare delivery, the Cross River State government has launched an Operation Reach the Unreached campaign to take healthcare delivery to every nook and cranny of the state. Governor Ben Ayade said this is part of government's effort in boosting healthcare, especially at the grassroots. Udwak Etin completes the story.
Faced with difficult terrains in Cross River State, health workers sometimes find it challenging to access some communities like Etunu in Biase local government area. Governor Ayade, represented by the Director General of the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Betaidu, said the campaign is to take quality healthcare to all the hard-to-reach areas as part of the Ayade Care project.
We had to cross water to get down here, and we are hoping that we can be able to reach at least 350,000 people that live around the Tono community. It's a hard-to-reach area in Cross River State. It's the concern of His Excellency Senator Professor Ben Ayade.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the state government and described the gesture as God sent.
All of us, we just very happy today because I'm from today. I know say I'm from today. 3 city everlasting. You think you begin go on, but this is our place.
Health is supreme, and it is health that they want us to have. The good health that we need, and we need it. Who will say no when people say you should live? Our people are very grateful.
The Operation Reach the Unreached campaign targets over 300,000 persons in the hard-to-reach communities. In Biase local government area of Cross River State, Udwak Eton, NTA News.
And 4 new cases of cerebrospinal meningitis confirmed in Plateau State. For details and other reports from that zone, let's link up with Ruth in our Jos Network Center. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, Hawa. Good afternoon and welcome to Jos. 4 cases of cerebrospinal meningitis have been confirmed in Plateau State, with over 40 others under investigation. Director Public Health, Mr. Venbong Wiep, confirmed this. Caleb Guchin reports. Caleb Guchin reports. Caleb Guchin reports. Caleb Guchin reports.
Of cerebrospinal meningitis, which is said to have ravaged several lives, especially in the northern part of the country. As efforts are being made to contain the disease, fresh cases are being reported, this time in Plateau State.
The 4 confirmed cases, we have 2 of type A, and the other 2 could not be diagnosed as for the serotyping.
Mr. Wiep said a meeting of relevant authorities was convened in Kaduna where decisions were taken on ways to combat the disease.
More vaccines have been ordered for by the minister, and when these vaccines come, states like Plateau and others will be taken care of. So what we are doing now is to wait for the arrival of these vaccines. As soon as they arrive, we are going to take advantage of that to immunize our people.
Citizens are further advised to present themselves early to health facilities when not certain of their health challenges. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
And now security matters. The police force has admitted its inability to fight crime without information and public partnership. Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Finance and Administration was speaking at a meeting with members of the Police Community Relations Committee, eminent personalities and police officers on the plateau. Rinret Lot has more on the DIG's one-day working visit to the state.
The DIG, who oversees the North Central Zone, was flanked by other AIGs and commissioners of police. DIG Shuaibu Gambo said the Inspector General of Police realizes that to meet with the lofty expectations of Nigerians, the police and members of the public must work hand in hand. This, he says, is the reason why meetings like this must regularly take place.
We believe that if we partner with you, the elders, our work will be much, much easier. Since you are out there, you are there with the community, you see what you feel what they are feeling, you see what they are seeing, while we are on the other side. We believe that when we sit down together, we'll be able to get more if we rub minds together.
There were a number of observations and suggestions from the PCRC in the areas of training and retraining, of ICT and financing. Deputy Inspector General of Police was at the Government House, Rayfield, where he informed the governor of the establishment of 2 new area commands at Bukuru and Pangshin.
We intend to put a second squadron in Shadam. I'm sure Excellency is aware of that. We want to do that as soon as the logistics are put in place.
People of Plateau are very much desirous of ensuring we live in peace on the Plateau. And we can't do that without the collaboration of the police.
Governor Lalong also assured the DIG that some of the challenges confronting the police will soon be taken care of as soon as funds are available. In Jos, Rinret Lot, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. It's back to you, Hawa, for the rest of the news nationwide.
Many thanks to you, Ruth. Moving on now, you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device or at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. And it's nationwide on the network service of the NTA. More reports after this break. Do stay with us.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
Kidney and liver issues are on the rise. Why?
This is monstrous. It's even woman's.
Charlatans peddle drugs on the streets as if it is pure water. Why?
I was not new.
Enterprise is for money, not assured and quality service. Why?
My dear sweet professor, am I trying to you so?
Oh, yes.
Episode 10, Season 3 of your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Boone takes a swipe at the scourge of substandard goods in our society.
Fake suppliers of products must be brought to justice before they create a calamitous atrocity in our community.
Keep a date with us and laugh like never before.
Electric bomb!
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life. Now, you can hold that dream occasion without stress.
Horizon Caterers will provide answers to all your catering questions. Exquisite hall designs, mouth-watering and nourishing local and continental cuisine, suitable for all types of ceremonies, including weddings, AGMs, business luncheon, cocktails. Name it, we can bring it. Our chefs and executive waiters give your guests that unforgettable experience in service. Our service covers all states of the Federation. Call us today to book your occasions. 0805-502-9637, 0803-450-9726, 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers, experience catering beyond the horizon.
Jesus in the west, Jesus in the north, and the south.
Hello, I'm Cyril Stober. Let me introduce you to my colleague, incisive reporter and vibrant minister of gospel music, Saint Reuben Okara. In the newsroom, we call him the Saint.
Yes. Everywhere you go.
I'd like to invite you to the public presentation of Breaking News. That's a music album by Saint Reuben Okara.
Everywhere you go. Praise be to God.
And it's all taking place on Saturday, the 29th of April, 2017, at the Cultural Center, Area 10, Abuja. It's at 4 o'clock in the evening. See you there.
Yes, so no be only government go stop Lassa fever. Now everybody go put hands together to stop Lassa fever. We don't the years once more to say Lassa fever don't use style resurface for some part of this country them. But the Federal Ministry of Health say make you no panic. Now so they clean our house all the time. We chase rats come out, and if rats don't mood for our house, Lassa fever don't come out be that. Lassa fever get two symptoms. One are early stage where they bring fever, sore throats, vomiting, diarrhea, joint pain. The second stage now bonge, and now they cause bleeding from the nose, eyes, spectrum. It go even they make blood to the commode from private parts, even cause swelling genital. Make we stop to the shop rats. Anywhere we rat fit enter our house, make we block am. Don't forget say division of the universal health coverage. That to see say everybody they can pay. Our Oga President Muhammad Buhari want everybody make we stand gidigba. Yama no good for us, so he dey invite ra. Sweat where they come up from person wey get Lassa fever fit transfer the disease from one person to another. If you suspect any fever, wey don't treat with better medicine and you no go quick, or you suspect any person wey get Lassa fever, make you rush go any health facilities wey dey near you. Lassa fever must go. Now all of una go give am red card. Now Federal Ministry of Health bring on this message.
Thanks for rejoining us. It's nationwide on the network service of the NTA. To agriculture now, Taraba State is working towards sustainable rice production by 2018. The state governor, Darius Dixon Ishaku, told farmers in the state that the government intends to increase its counterpart funding to encourage massive rice production. Joseph Utsain reports that the governor was speaking after inspecting dry season rice farming in Karim Lamido local government area.
If there is any state that can drive the country to the level of sustainable rice production, then that is Taraba State, according to the state governor Darius Dixon Ishaku. The state government stands on the ground that the state has vast fertile soil suitable for the cultivation of rice, supported by rivers all over. Inspecting the dry season rice farm in Karim Lamido, Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku said the farm will be expanded from 4,000 hectares to 8,000 hectares by next year, while Dominion Rice Farm in Gasso local government, which has about 35,000 hectares of land with modern machines on ground and facilities to be constructed, will start production by November.
Well, before December, they should be able to be selling the rice, the paddy rice from Gasol itself. This place, Karim could be feeding the mill and Gasol. But Gasol also has equal potential. We're going to expand both. As I said earlier, Taraba can be in the position to supply the country with rice.
The administration has been persistent in encouraging the people to take advantage of the ban on the importation of rice to produce en masse. Many farmers say they are ready for the challenge.
There is no reason for us to be importing those things that we can cultivate here. If you can produce, why are you importing? Then why are you suffering your naira in exchanging it to dollar? And that's why you see the value of naira is down.
But the farmers want the government to walk the talk by giving them the necessary support. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound O10, NTA News.
And time now to join Beauty in our Enugu Network Center for top stories from that zone. Good to see you, Beauty.
It's a delight to see you, Hawa, and a very pleasant welcome to Enugu. Enugu State Government has approved 10 million naira for community development projects across the 450 autonomous communities in the state. Commissioner for Information, Dr. Godwin Uduhele, made this known to journalists after the State Executive Council meeting in Enugu. Ujoma Gweke will tell us more.
Uduhele said that the 10 million naira is a rolling plan which will commence with 5 million naira this year to enhance rural development and encourage community participation in infrastructural development. Council also approved about 67 million naira for the construction and installation of underground vandal-proof battery cabinets, replacement of 17 vandalized traffic light stations, and maintenance of machines across the state.
There have been some comments on the abysmal kind of performance of the street light in Enugu State, which is being caused by vandals. They vandalize the batteries and then epileptic light supply, despite the effort of the state government.
Also approved was the payment of 200 million naira in addition to 100 million naira for the Enugu Electric Distribution Company, EEDC, as part payment to settle the state government's indebtedness to the company. In Enugu, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
To sustain government projects and programs at the grassroots, the Enugu State House of Assembly Committee on Millennium Development Goals and non-governmental organizations has engaged civil society organizations in the state to enlighten them on their roles in community development. Susan Eze has details of that report.
The committee chairman stated that non-governmental organizations primarily render selfless service born out of passion for humanity. To achieve this role effectively, he said there is need for greater collaboration between government and the civil society organizations in monitoring and implementation of projects in various communities in the state. He assured participants at the forum that the committee is ready to partner with them to achieve their goals.
We should use this momentum by His Excellency, his openness, his policy towards people of Enugu and people working towards improving people. We should capitalize on it and do something quicker for the benefit of our people.
Representatives of civil society organizations at the forum, including Professor Daniel Ugu, stressed the need to sensitize the people on the importance of their getting involved in budget planning, implementation, and monitoring to ensure that social amenities and infrastructure provided by government are sustained. Other stakeholders at the event called on the civil society organizations in the state to rise up to their responsibilities of complementing government's efforts. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
With the extension of deadline for the registration of the 2017 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination,
It's stressful one, and it's now modernized. So I was expecting it to be more easy, but now it's quite difficult than what it is. Look at the whole queue.
Due to these hitches, coupled with the call for the extension of deadline by the House of Representatives, the Registrar Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board recently announced an extension of the deadline for the registration to the 5th of May 2017. Officials of the board in Enugu who spoke off camera said the systems have been upgraded for a smooth registration, though some applicants still complain of limited number of personnel and poor network.
There are not much systems for the registration, and the network too is very slow.
The JAMB registrar also announced the postponement of the 2017 UTME from Saturday, the 13th of May to 20th May 2017. In Enugu, Chinenwoye, NTA News.
As that's our contribution from Enugu, he's back to you, Hawa, for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thanks to you, Beauty. And time to take another break. It's Nationwide. Do stay.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
Kidney and liver issues are on the rise. Why?
This is monstrous. It's even woman's.
Charlatans peddle drugs on the streets as if it is pure water. Why?
I was not new.
Enterprise is for money, not assured and quality service. Why?
My dear sweet professor, am I trying to you so?
Oh, yes.
Episode 10, Season 3 of your rib-cracking comedy. Professor John Boone takes a swipe at the scourge of substandard goods in our society.
Fake suppliers of products must be brought to justice before they create a calamitous atrocity in our community.
Keep a date with us and laugh like never before.
Electric bomb!
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
Now, you can hold that dream occasion without stress. Horizon Caterers will provide answers to all your catering questions. Exquisite hall designs, mouth-watering and nourishing local and continental cuisine, suitable for all types of ceremonies, including weddings, AGMs, business luncheon, cocktails. Name it, we can bring it. Our chefs and executive waiters give your guests that unforgettable experience in service. Our service covers all states of the Federation. Call us today to book your occasions. 0805-502-9637, 0803-450-9726, 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers, experience catering beyond the horizon.
Jesus in the west, Jesus in the north, and the south.
Hello, I'm Cyril Stober. Let me introduce you to my colleague, incisive reporter and vibrant minister of gospel music, Saint Ruben Okara. In the newsroom, we call him the Saint.
In Lakota, yes. In Abuja, everywhere you go.
I'd like to invite you to the public presentation of Breaking News. That's a music album by Saint Ruben Okala.
Everywhere you go. Praise be to God.
And it's all taking place on Saturday, the 29th of April, 2017, at the Cultural Center, Area 10, Abuja. It's at 4 o'clock in the evening. See you there.
Yes, so no be only government go stop Lassa fever. Now everybody go put hands together to stop Lassa fever. We don't the years once more to say Lassa fever don't use style resurface for some part of this country them. But the Federal Ministry of Health say make you no panic. Now to they clean our house all the time. Go chase rats come out. And if rats don't mood for our house, Lassa fever don't come out be that. Lassa fever get two symptoms. One are early stages where they bring fever, sore throats, vomiting, diarrhea, joint pain. The second stage now bunge, now they cause bleeding from the nose, eyes, spectrum. It go even they make blood to the come out from private part. Even cause swelling genital. Where we start to the shop rat. Anywhere we rat fit enter our house, make we block am. Don't forget say division of the universal health coverage. That to see say everybody dey kampe. Our Oga President Muhammad Buhari want everybody make we stand gidigba. Yama no good for us, so he dey invite rat. Sweat wey dey comot from person wey get Lassa fever fit transfer the disease from one person to another. If you suspect any fever wey you don treat with better medicine and e no go quick, or you suspect any person wey get Lassa fever, make you rush go any health facilities wey dey near you. Lassa fever must go. Na all of una go give am red card. Now, Federal Ministry of Health bring on this message.
Thanks for rejoining us, and moving to other stories now. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has assured the global community that Nigeria's new visa regime is tailored towards attracting investors and boosting tourism. The minister said this while addressing the ongoing 59th meeting of the United Nations World Tourism Organization Commission for Africa, holding in Addis Ababa. Anthony Forson reports.
When Nigeria put up appearance at the 2016 edition of this forum, leader of the delegation and Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, made it clear that Nigeria, under the present administration, is committed to removing all impediments that create bottleneck in promoting economic growth in line with its desire to diversify its economy. It is in line with this that a new visa regime policy was introduced.
Nigeria today has embarked on getting a better environment for doing business. On the heels of this, we have liberalized our visa regime, and for the first time today we have visa on arrival in Nigeria.
On promoting tourism, he said perceptions about the sector must change.
That is the way the tourism industry is being perceived.
Lending their voices in support of Nigeria, other ministers call for rebranding of Africa.
Thinking that when we are into power, we own the people, we own the country, and we do not want to do what is right and impose ourselves on people and expect tourists to come. Tourists will never come where there is violence. Even in your own country, when there is violence, your own people run away and leave it.
We can't overgloss over the perception of Africa, the scourge of disease, poverty, illiteracy, a whole lot of things that is unfortunately a perception.
It's a high time that Africa needs to rebrand itself and create its own narrative, because the narrative portrayed for Africa, we don't deserve this.
All of these visa issues, we make it difficult for Africans to travel within Africa. It is unnecessary.
Nigeria will at this forum express its interest to host the 61st edition of this meeting come next year, 2018. From Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And just to follow up to that, Nigeria has actually won the right to host the 61st African Meeting of Ministers of Tourism and Culture billed for 2018. Again, correspondent Anthony Forson reports that Nigeria won the hosting right at the ongoing UNWTO CAF meeting in Addis Ababa.
Nigeria won the hosting right after Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed indicated Nigeria's interest.
It is with all humility that I table before you Nigeria's bid to host the 61st CAF meeting in Abuja, Nigeria. As you may be aware, we are a country of almost 200 million people, rich in cultural heritage, which you will all see very soon in colors, dances, music, languages, festivals, among others.
It was followed by a video presentation highlighting Nigeria's rich cultural heritage. The 5-minute presentation is tagged Simply Nigeria.
Nigeria has it all. It is a place of rhythm, of dance, of music, of festivals, of tradition and culture, of spectacular color, of glamour, and a country of 200 million smiles. And home to a unique people of incomparable passion.
chairman of the United Nations World Tourism Organization Commission for Africa, Walter Nzembi, said the applause that followed Nigeria's presentation is a confirmation that the bid by Nigeria has been accepted. Nigeria has hosted the meeting in 2003, 2008, and 2012. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And following the collapse of the multi-purpose indoor sports hall at the UJ Swene Stadium, Calabar, the Nigeria Society of Engineers has emphasized the need to engage relevant professionals in handling projects. The Chief Inspector Engineering Regulations Monitoring Committee, Pius Okpai, gave this indication while inspecting the collapsed indoor sports hall in Calabar. The report.
The Chief Inspector Engineering Regulation Monitoring Committee, Calabar, said the essence of the inspection is to ascertain the quality of materials used for the building. He added that professionals should be engaged to handle a project of such magnitude.
We have seen what has happened. We are going to look at the design. We are going to ask questions about the method of construction that was adopted. We are going to look at the materials. We're even going to look at the quality of concrete used. All those things could be okay. Other factors could have happened, could have come in between to cause this failure.
The chairman Nigerian Society of Engineers, Calabar, Mr. Nsid Akonjom, said one of the factors that affects a building to collapse is by engaging quacks in a project. The multi-purpose indoor sports hall project, which collapsed 5 days ago, began since 2013. In Calabar, Ukechukwu Agubama, NTA News.
And more sports with Kene Emagodike.
About 120 participants from 10 military and paramilitary agencies will take part in the maiden edition of Armed Forces and Security Agencies Half Marathon Championship, April 29 in Abuja. Chairman, Main Organizing Committee, Major General John Davis, disclosed that the marathon, which will commence at the Games Village and terminate at Mogadishu Cantonment Parade Ground, is to harmonize relationship among the security agencies for effective delivery of service.
The Chief of Defense Staff deemed it necessary that sport is one of the melting pots whereby not only for the officers but as well as for the rank and file come together and are able to meet one-on-one and share experiences.
Team Kano State have successfully defended their National Parasoccer League title after finishing on